Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that had recently lost a father, and unfortunately for them, they didn't have the best relationship with their father. The father was a very harsh, punitive, aggressive person, very much withholding of kind of love and affection. And because of that, there wasn't a lot of encouragement or support or affection or communicating that they were proud or that they had love. So that made the grief process more difficult because for a lot of people, they frame grief as almost kind of like love with no place to go. And that's good if there was love there. But how do you deal with grief if actually there was a different emotion and love wasn't the dominant emotion? So in this session, there's an element of three key things. The first is to facilitate unfinished business being finished or open loops being closed. The client was with them for the last 2 years of their life, caring for them from a sense of compassion rather than love. And I would say when there is a conflict like that, that shows that there's even more compassion than if there's genuine love there. It's a different form of love. But they were hoping to hear things like their father was proud of them, or that there was an apology or an acknowledgement or any of those things, and it just never came. So the first section of this is to facilitate hearing those key things. The second is to give an empowering meaning to the life their father had on them. And the third is to treat this part of their life like almost like a brand new opportunity, like a blank canvas or a new chapter of a book, that actually they were wiser now than ever before. They had additional time because they weren't caring for their father. And although it was created for a specific individual, I think most people would like to hear something from someone that they can't hear. And that could be someone that's passed or just someone that isn't in their life anymore. It doesn't have to be someone that's, let's say, deceased. It doesn't have to be that. And I think everyone has the opportunity to look at their life where they are right now and decide they're not going to be a victim, they're going to be a survivor, that actually they're going to make the very best that life has to offer for them and to write their own story. And that's really what the essence of this session is. My particular belief system, and I know that therapy sits in this kind of field called mental health, I don't believe that my clients are sick or broken. I just believe that there's certain emotions or thoughts that's coming up that just aren't useful. And if you fall into this kind of trap of feeling like because of a traumatic childhood that you're broken, then that can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you've had a hard life, and who hasn't, but if you've had, and I work with some people that have worked, in situations where they've had brutal lives, but if you've gone through tough things, I'm here to tell you, you are not broken. You are not mentally sick. You're not traumatized. but you probably do have coping strategies, and some of those coping strategies may not be serving you well. So I hope this session helps. But if you feel like you would benefit from something more bespoke and tailored and customized to you, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call on Zoom to explore working with me directly. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release. As feelings of tension, stress, or just emotional heaviness feels like it's leaving your body in that outward breath. And when you breathe in deeper than before. And as you exhale for longer. As you breathe in, just imagine a vibrant, bright color. Maybe a bright yellow or orange, and allow this color to represent all of the wonderful resources you need most right now. Maybe enthusiasm, hope, a light feeling of freedom. Just imagine as you breathe in, you're breathing in that bright, vibrant color. And as you exhale, imagine a dark, shadowy color leaving your body, representing any sadness, resentment, stress, or just emotional heaviness. Feel it leave your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in even deeper that bright, vibrant color. As you consider breathing in and breathing out, a transfusion of emotions. Breathing in what your body needs and exhaling what it would benefit by releasing. The deeper you breathe, the deeper relaxed you become, and the deeper relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe, as you allow this cycle to feed on itself, enabling every breath to make you feel more resourceful, and every exhale to release that which needs to be released. That's it. Breathing in and breathing out. And I want you to think of a place in a distant land, a place in nature where you felt safe, light, happy and free. And when you can recall that place, let me know by nodding your head. And just imagine being back there. But imagine being in nature with no one around, breathing in fresh air. Continue to exhale any heaviness, any sadness. Just let it go. There's been certain feelings you've been holding on to for far too long now. So allow it to leave your body in that outward breath. I'll count down from 5 to 1, and I want you to imagine, magically, the most comfortable bed appears in that place in nature. Rest your head on a soft pillow, wondering why there's a bed in nature, and yet there is. Feel your body sinking into that comfortable, soft mattress. 5, just release all the tension in your eyelids and jaw. That's it. 4, neck and shoulders, melting away any tension. And 3, just allow your arms to feel so limp, loose and heavy. And then 2, just allow all of your internal organs, but mainly your heart and lungs, to just let go more than ever before. And in doing so, you drift off deeper and deeper. And 1, just allow your legs to feel like your arms limp, loose, light, and heavy at the same time, drifting off into a dreamlike sleep. At 0, you imagine drifting off there in that distant land, on that soft, comfortable bed, drifting off into a dream-like sleep. And in this dream-like sleep, I want you to imagine you're about to walk into a room you're familiar with someone that you knew, still standing in front of the door at this point, but knowing that that person is on the other side, maybe in a chair, maybe in a bed. Maybe they need your help, support, or attention. Maybe they need the very things they were unable to provide. And I want you to imagine that words that couldn't be said in reality can be said here in your deep subconscious imagination. That whatever your unconscious needs to hear, wants to hear, or would just like to hear, can be said in this safe, calm, protective place. So I'll count down from 3 to 1. You will imagine opening the door of this room, going inside, and spending time not to talk but to listen, to hear the words that your unconscious needs to hear. So 3, imagine putting your hand on the handle. 2, turning the handle, opening the door, and 1, walking through the door and closing the door behind you and seeing that person. Maybe take a seat next to them. And I want you to see a slightly different version of them, where any restrictions, anything where their identity prevented them from saying how they truly felt, just imagine that veil, those barriers, those restrictions are all lifted. Perhaps things they wanted to say but felt they couldn't, or perhaps things that they never would say but you want to hear anyway. right now in this room can be said. So allow yourself to listen, and when your unconscious has heard what you need to hear, let me know by nodding your head. And just know that you can return any time you want to this room and hear anything else your unconscious needs to hear, wants to hear, or would just like to hear. It's just your imagination, perceptions, but perceptions can change emotions. Emotions that are suppressed can be freed. Wonderful resources that are locked can be unlocked. So imagine leaving that room. But before you leave, I want you to imagine that you can now say something that you didn't say in reality, that you would have needed to, wanted to, or liked to have said if you could. And once you've said what your unconscious needs to say, let me know by nodding your head. And then you leave that room. But you don't go out to a hallway or the rest of that location. You find yourself standing in front of a large blank canvas. As you start to make the evaluation that is what life feels like right now, imagine you have a palette of infinite colors, an infinite ability to create whatever you want on that blank canvas. As you stare into the canvas, your mind opens to new ways of thinking about the past that work for you rather than against you. So stare deep into the canvas, and as you relax, allow yourself to release any remaining burdens from the past, knowing that you are now free to shape your life in any way you choose. You are strong and resilient, having grown through every challenge, and now you step into a future filled with even more love, compassion, and peace. In fact, the pain of the past no longer defines you. Feel that it's made you even more understanding, more empathetic, even more capable of true kindness. Start to see this canvas. Start to see with colors and shapes, maybe even a location. As you breathe in and breathe out, each breath you take is a step away from old patterns, allowing you to embrace a new chapter filled with endless possibilities. Another person's harshness is not your burden to carry. You are free to choose the life you want, filled with joy, exploration, and fulfillment. And maybe on that blank canvas is ready to be filled with your dreams, desires, and a beautiful life that you are creating. Because what if the challenges you faced have only strengthened your resolve to live a life of compassion, maybe adventure, or limitless potential? See the canvas turn into a book. Perhaps the first few words of a brand new chapter. As intuitively you know, as one chapter closes, another begins. So allow yourself to feel the excitement of a new beginning, where every day is a new page, an opportunity for growth, discovery, and happiness. You are not defined by the past, but by the choices you now make. And those choices lead you toward a life filled with whatever you desire most. And as you start to think of that new chapter, that tonality of what now becomes what now. And that thought of what am I going to do becomes what am I going to do? Feel the weight of old expectations lifting as you realize you are the author of your story, and you choose the path, perhaps of joy and fulfillment. That you have the power to rewrite your narrative, turning every challenge into a stepping stone toward a more beautiful, meaningful life. And maybe your journey has made you more compassionate, driven, and strong. And now you step forward with confidence into a future of infinite possibilities. As you release old pain, feel yourself becoming lighter, freer, and more open to the love and joy that life has to offer. You are free to explore the world, to travel, to experience new cultures, and to embrace the adventure that awaits you. One thing you know for sure: life is a book that will have a final page. Therefore, what if you applied the duty you've applied to other people to yourself, to give yourself that love, compassion, dedication, and time to make those pages the best they could be. So with every breath, you let go of the past and step into a life filled with new opportunities, unexpected joys, and wonderful surprises. You start to realize that you are proud of yourself, that you are deserving of love, kindness, and success. And now you amplify these positive energies into your life in abundance. The difficulties you faced shaped you subtly into a person of great strength and compassion, now ready to embrace your future. And any time you choose, you have the power to transform your past into a source of wisdom, insight, guiding you toward a future filled with peace, happiness, and fulfillment. And feel that old emotional wounds are now healing. And as they heal, you find yourself opening up to new experiences, new possibilities, and new adventures that bring you joy and deep fulfillment. You are not broken. You never were. You are whole, complete, and ready to live a life filled with love, adventure, and the beautiful possibilities that lie ahead. And maybe you can see the words being written in that new chapter. And maybe you can see what was a blank canvas starting to become some image, some compelling vision of your future. So now it's time to go back to that comfortable bed in nature. You return to that place, and as you leave the bed, notice how much lighter you feel, freer you feel. But somehow, some open loops and unfinished business now feel closed, with a deeper sense of clarity as to what to make of the past and what to think of the future. It's now time to return to the here and now as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as I now count from 1 to 10, taking you back to the here and now, where you will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, eager to make this chapter your very best. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.